Hey guys, so I'm starting out by priming my eyelids using my Tarte Shape Tape. So I'm just blobbing some on and blending it out using an F60 brush from Sigma. Then to set it down, I'm just using some RCMA no color powder just because there's no like skin tone or translucent powder in the palette that I can use. Then I'm dipping into the Morphe Copper Spice palette and I'm taking this peachy shade and just starting to buff this in with an E40 brush. Then I'm using this mustardy yellowy kind of shade and I'm just doing the same type of thing, just blending it all together and starting to build up those colors. Then I'm taking this kind of mid-tone brown shade from the palette and I'm just doing the exact same thing. It's very repetitive and very blendy, but that's how we get a blended look. Then I'm taking an E25 brush and I'm taking this warm toned like reddish brown and I'm just starting to buff this into the crease and keeping it quite precise. Then I'm taking this slightly darker brown shade and I'm just building it up in the outer corner and in the crease, so creating kind of a sharp outer V type of thing. So yeah, just packing it on in that section and then taking the rest and blending it. Then I'm taking this dark brown from the very bottom row of the palette and I'm doing the same thing, but I am really bringing this like and hugging my eyelid, if that makes any sense. And then I'm dipping into the black from the palette and this is a really good matte black, I find. So I'm applying it to my entire eyelid and just sort of blending it into the crease as I go. So that's the great thing about that brush, you can pack on and blend. Then I picked up this brown with a bit of sparkle in it and I tried to pack it on the lid, but it just did not show up. It didn't really look good at all. Then I used one of the light yellowy bone shades to highlight my brow bone and then went back in with my Sigma E40 just to blend out the edges. Then I just took a makeup wipe and I cleaned up all around the eye, so like made it into more of a cat eye on the outer corners and it just cleaned up in the inner corners as well. Then going in with the glitter, this glitter is so amazing. It's the Stila Magnificent Metals Glitter and Glow Shadow in Smoky Storm. So I'm using a P86 brush to apply it to my entire eyelid and I am obsessed with it. Then while that was setting, I just used some Gimme Brow in my eyebrows. This one's in the shade number 2. And then I went in with my Technic Cosmetics Skinny Liner, which you guys know is my favorite winged liner. No, it's my favorite eyeliner for winged liner. So I just created a wing with that and yeah, just kind of kept it thin along my lash line so that the sparkles still stood out. And then I just tight lined with a black Kohl pencil and I applied a coat of the Baby Roll mascara from L'Oreal. And then the lashes that I applied are the Klepki lashes in the style Mykonos. Then moving on to the skin, I primed using Benefit Porefessional, the illuminating version. So I just applied that all over my face. And then for foundation, I used the Fenty Beauty Pro Filtr foundation in the shade 140. I love this foundation. I seriously use it most days. I seriously think it's one of the best foundations I've ever used and I'm obsessed with it. So I just blended that out using my Tarte dual ended foundation brush. To conceal, I used my good old Shape Tape in Fair Neutral. So I just applied it under the eyes and down the center of the face, just to make sure everything looks nice and highlighted. And I used the smaller end of the brush to sort of get in all of the small areas and then just flipped it around to the foundation side. And so I kind of blended between where the concealer and the foundation meet. To set everything down, I used the RCMA no color powder again, and I just used a Sigma F35 brush just to press it into my skin where I applied all of that concealer. Then to contour and kind of bronze up my skin a little bit, I use this Morphe, I don't know if it's a bronzer or a contour palette, but yeah, I use this palette. It will be listed down below, and I just used an F05 brush to carve out my cheekbones and then bring some warmth around the perimeters of my face because I was looking a little bit ghostly. And then I just made sure to take my foundation brush and blend out the edges once again. Then for blush, I used this pale pink from Sigma. It is called Pet Name, and I love it for when I kind of have a lot going on in my eyes and I just need something simple. And then for my highlight, I used the Fenty Beauty, what are they called? Killawatt highlight in the shade Lightning Dust and Fire Crystal. I used the more shimmery side and just highlighted pretty much my entire face. Again, I love this highlight. And then moving on to the under eyes, I took the peachy shade mixed with the mustardy shade and I just buffed that underneath the eyes with my E40 brush. Then going in with my E25, I mixed together that warm toned brown with the dark brown, and I just did the same thing basically, just started to smoke everything up. And then taking the black on a E15 definer brush, I pressed this right in against my lower lash Smoky. And then I took the Stila Magnificent Metals again and I just applied it to the very inner portion of my lower lash line. Then just tight lined or lined my waterline with a black liner, and again I took the Killawatt highlight and used that as my inner corner highlight because there's not really many inner corner highlights in the Copper Spice palette. To finish off the eyes, I just applied some lower lash mascara, and then for the lips I used a Rimmel lip liner. I believe it's in the shade Tiramisu, but it will be listed down below. And then to fill them in, I used the Gerard Cosmetics Hydra Matte in the shade Iced Mocha, which is this gorgeous like warm toned brown, and I love it. And that completes this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you in my next one.